You ever tap on an Instagram ad and just moments later find yourself in a WhatsApp chat with that same company? It feels seamless, almost like magic, right? Well, behind that super simple interaction is this incredibly powerful and complex ecosystem. Today, we're going to pull back that curtain. We'll follow the journey of a fictional customer, let's call him Alex, as he discovers a brand we'll call Evergreen Goods.
All right, so here's the game plan. We're going to start with the business's command center. Then we'll follow the digital breadcrumbs Alex leaves behind. After that, we'll see how all that data turns into a real one-on-one conversation. We'll also unpack the crucial role of technical partners, the folks behind the scenes. And finally, we'll look at the whole connected experience from start to finish.
First things first, every great operation needs a headquarters, a home base. And for a modern business like our Evergreen Goods, that headquarters is all digital. It is the absolute foundation for everything else that's about to happen.
So what exactly is Meta Business Manager? Honestly, the best way to think of it is like the central nervous system for a brand's entire meta presence. It's a free platform that lets you keep all your business assets, we're talking Facebook pages, Insta accounts, ad accounts, the whole shebang, all organized, secure, and, this is key, completely separate from your personal profile.
Getting it set up is a pretty straightforward 1-2-3 process. First, you create the business account itself. Second, you start plugging in all your existing assets. And third, you start granting very specific permissions to the people who need them, whether that's your own marketing team or an outside agency you're working with. This makes sure everybody has the access they need and absolutely nothing more.
Okay, headquarters is established. Now for the really cool part. How does a business like Evergreen Goods actually know what customers like Alex are doing after they click on an ad? This is where the digital detective work begins, all happening silently in the background.
And this really is the million-dollar question for any advertiser, isn't it? How do you actually connect the dots between the money you're spending on an ad and a real person taking a real action on your website? How do you prove your campaigns are actually working and not just, shouting into the void?
To answer that, businesses use this tag team duo of tools. On one side, you've got the classic Meta Pixel. It's a little piece of code on your website that tracks what people do in their browser using cookies. But on the other side, you have the Conversions API, or CAPI. This is a direct server-to-server link. And with browsers phasing out third-party cookies, CAPI is becoming absolutely crucial for reliable tracking.
So let's walk in Alex's shoes. He's scrolling, sees an ad for a cool product, and he clicks it. He lands on the Evergreen Goods website. The second he gets there, the pixel fires. He looks at a few things, but then, life happens, he gets distracted and leaves without buying anything. But here's the magic. Both the Pixel and the Conversions API have logged that visit, signaling his interest to Meta systems. So what happens next is the real game changer. That little flicker of interest from Alex, that brief visit, it's not gone. It's now a concrete data point. And Evergreen Goods can use that data to reach out to Alex again, but this time in a much more direct, much more personal way.
So maybe later that day, Alex is scrolling again, and bam, he sees a new ad from Evergreen Goods. But this one's different. It's not just showing him the product he looked at. It's actively inviting him to ask questions about it, right there directly in WhatsApp. This is the Click to WhatsApp ad, and its whole purpose is to turn a passive browser into an active conversation.
So Alex clicks the ad and boom, a chat opens up. Super simple for him, right? Well, for the business, it's not quite as easy as just flicking a switch. There's a whole layer of complexity to manage. For instance, just last year, Meta totally changed its pricing for these messages. They went from a simple 2-category model to this more nuanced system with 3 different types of conversations: utility, authentication, and marketing, which forced businesses to get way more strategic.
I mean, trying to manage all these API updates, new pricing models, and the crazy technical setup for WhatsApp, that's a full-time job in itself. And that's exactly why most businesses, including our fictional Evergreen Goods, they don't do it alone. This is where specialized partners come into play.
And this is where a tech provider, sometimes called an independent software vendor, or ISV, comes in. Think of companies like Gupship as a kind of specialist translator. They build an entire platform that's fluent in Meta, and they handle all the really deep technical stuff so that individual businesses just don't have to.
So what does a partner like this actually do for you? Well, in short, they absorb all the complexity. They're the ones who handle the constant API changes, they manage all the billing, they make getting a WhatsApp business account way, way easier, and they unlock advanced features that would be a nightmare to build yourself. They basically let Evergreen Goods focus on talking to customers, not coding.
A perfect example of this is something they call pass-through APIs. The best analogy is a universal adapter. The partner's system is built to speak Meta's native API language directly. And for a business, this is a total game changer. It means you can get set up faster, move over from other providers more easily, and get access to new features almost the second Meta releases them.
Okay, so let's zoom out now and put all these pieces together. We've seen the digital headquarters, the tracking tools, the ad strategy, and the technical partner holding it all together. Now let's look at the beautiful, seamless picture this entire ecosystem creates.
And here it is, the full circle. Alex sees that first ad. His visit gets tracked. He gets that super relevant conversational ad. He taps it, which instantly opens a chat on WhatsApp. He gets his questions answered by a real person or a bot, and he completes his purchase. Every single step was connected, guided by the system we just unpacked.
And that's really the punchline here. From Alex's point of view, it was just a simple, helpful chat that got him what he wanted. Easy. But from the perspective of Evergreen Goods, it was a hyper-efficient, data-driven marketing funnel, all powered by this sophisticated ecosystem of tools and partners that made the whole thing manageable.
And all of this leaves us with one final, pretty interesting thought to chew on. In a world where the business, the social platform, and the tech partner are all this deeply tangled up in creating the customer experience, who really owns that customer relationship anymore? It's a question every modern business is going to have to think about.